Hey right guys, Truth Punches Joe here, and today we are going to be talking about everything that I watched and played in March 2020. Sorry this one's about a week late almost. I've just been busy doing other TV shows at the moment, and I still want to aim to do these every month, so if they're a little bit late then I'll still plan to do it. It's just getting around to it basically. That's going to be the problem, even though these take 10-15 minutes to film, but hopefully they're still entertaining for you guys. Like I say, I know they don't get the most amount of views, but I like hearing what you guys have been playing and watching, and I just like talking about it anyway. So yep, March. I did terrible with films, by the way. I watched one film in March, which we'll get to. TV shows though, I actually finished quite a few seasons of shows. A lot of these, oh my god, I typed one, The Legend of Korra, but it autocorrects to The Legend of Korea. A lot of these you can get my full thoughts on in the finales of those shows. I know some of them obviously aren't on YouTube yet. I've just finished them for Patreon, so you get my full thoughts on those finale episodes. That'll be coming soon, over April most likely. But the first one, these are two shows that are ongoing at the moment. I mentioned them in January and February as well. But 24, finished season 3. I'm almost at the end of season 4, but technically that'll be for April. But 24 season 3, I really like this one. This one's kind of one of my favourites of the entire show. I think it's an improvement from season 2. I feel like the threat's a lot better. The political side of things in season 3, I feel like it's a big improvement from season 2 as well. And Jack Bauer's just an absolute boss. What wins me over with this season though, if you've seen 24 season 3, is Michelle and Tony. They are just sick. Obviously Jack Bauer's his own thing, but Michelle and Tony are so good in this season, and it's definitely my favourite out of the 3 up to that point. Not out of all the seasons, but 1, 2 and 3, I feel like season 3 is definitely my favourite. That was a 9 out of 10. And then the second show that I've obviously been ongoing with is House. In March I finished season 3 and season 4. Season 4 was fairly short. I think that was only about 16 episodes overall, so it's very easy to get through. Season 3 was my favourite, as kind of with 24, is my favourite of all the shows so far. I felt like, without spoiling too much obviously for any of these shows, it does a good job with House's personal life, because every episode of House kind of episodic with the patient that they're kind of going with. But the first half of season 3 I feel like does a very good job of focusing on just House outside of that. And you have this whole drama with this cop who's kind of investigating him as well, and the kind of consequences of that. And I feel like it's really interesting stuff. And then the rest of season 3 played out and it was still really good, and then the final few episodes of season 3 was solid. And season 3 of House was a 9 out of 10, and then I also finished season 4, and I felt like that was the weakest. We kind of went from the best season to the weakest. They just bring in a lot of new characters, and I do like most of them. I'm kind of almost halfway through season 5 now, so I can speak a bit more on those characters for that season, but I like them in season 4, and I feel like it does really change everything up. Like seasons 1, 2 and 3, you kind of have your same format going through it, as entertaining as they are. And season 4 does change it up quite a bit by bringing in all these new characters. What I liked about season 4 though is kind of the elimination process, because you have House trying to hire these new people to work for him. And every episode he kind of cuts people out, so he narrows it down each episode. I like that about it. But overall, apart from the final 2 episodes of this season, were some of the best episodes House has done. So I think overall it was still really good. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was still a good season. It was just the weakest out of all of them for me. The next kind of 4 you'll know about if you're on Patreon mostly, and then one of them obviously went all up on YouTube. But Friends Season 1, finally finished that. I get the hype with it. I've not even reached peak Friends yet, I'm going to assume. But I like it. It's fun, a fun show to watch. The characters, I'm pretty much attached to all of them. Apart from Monica at this point, to be fair. I still feel like I need a bit more with her. But Phoebe, Joey, Chandler, all of them just really well acted and well written so far. For a sitcom, because I don't like sitcoms typically, but I feel like this one's kind of one of the better ones that I've seen. And I've given plenty, Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, just from the episodes I've seen of those shows, I just don't really like the genre. So that was why I was a bit cautious with Friends, and I said at the start of that show, I'm unsure if I'll do the whole show. I'm enjoying it, it's a lot of fun. So season 1 I gave, I think it was an 8 out of 10 for season 1. Surprised by it for sure. Then we had Elite Season 3. After thinking about Elite Season 3, I do stick by what I said in that reaction of the finale, that it is the weakest. Oh, not the weakest, but weaker than Season 2 for me. So I think it's Season 2, Season 3, Season 1. Still a very strong season. I really enjoyed it. It just, it wasn't up there with season 2 for me personally. And again, I hate that they spoiled that thing in the trailer, so that was kind of a shame. But I don't know, there's rumours that they're going to be changing up the cast for season 4. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I will still be doing the character tier list as well, don't worry, I can keep getting comments about that. I know it's been half a month since I finished that season, but I will still do the character tier list, I just need to get around to it. But season 4, if they change up the cast, I'm going to be kind of disappointed by that, because I feel like there's still so much to do with the characters, and it doesn't have to be about death all the time. Like, so I don't know. We'll wait and see what they do. Of course, we don't know, and that's not confirmed. That's just kind of a rumor at the moment. But at least season 3, I gave an 8 out of 10 to. I feel like I gave an 8 out of 10 to most of these, to be fair. But you gotta do what you gotta do. This was a 9 out of 10 for this season. But Shameless season 3, such a huge improvement from seasons 1 and 2. I feel like the reactions are kind of coming towards that finale now on YouTube. I've started season 4 over on Patreon, but season 3 was so good, especially the second half. Like, it went from great to one of the best shows that I'm reacting to at the moment. Obviously, I've heard that it kind of doesn't stay on this level, and I don't expect it to, because it's so well written at the moment. Season 4 is meant to be better than season 3, and I'm excited to see kind of how that's the case. But yeah, loved not all the stories, but I loved the majority of the stories in season 3. Gave, like I say, a 9 out of 10 to season 3 of Shameless. Then the final season of a show that I watched is The Legend of Korra, according to autocorrect. But The Legend of Korra season 3, which I gave a 8 out of 10 to. The villains, obviously, as everyone says, the villains were what really made the season as strong as it was. The last couple of episodes were amazing. I really, the animation, the music, as always with the kind of Avatar universe, the animation and music is great. But season 2 is just like the season kind of plodded along in season 2, and the villain just wasn't that great, so I wasn't super invested. Whereas this, even though it kind of did have that slow build going for it, it's like the villains were interesting, the locations they went to were different. Like, they weren't just in Republic City, they went to like the Metal Clan place and all that stuff. So I liked that about it, that we kind of travelled out and we kind of split off in groups as well. And like I said, the story was kind of a little bit slowish but not boring, so I like that, and I gave it an 8 out of 10 overall for The Legend of Korra season 3. As I said, film wise, I only watched one. I've been really bad with films this year. And you'd think with everything going on as well, like being locked into your building for however long we're going to be locked into our buildings, I'd be able to smash out more films, but I've still only watched one, because I'm just watching TV shows. Like House and 24 are what I'm watching at the moment, like off camera, not so much films. But Girl Interrupted was the film that I watched in March, and I was surprised by it. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to kind of see Angelina Jolie in a really strong role, because I've seen her in a couple of things and she's been like good. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything and gone, oh god, she's bad. But she was really, this was my favourite role of hers for sure. I mean, could it be Tomb Raider? Tomb Raider's like cheesy garbage, but I kind of love Tomb Raider the films, so I don't know. But she is good in this either way. I'd definitely recommend checking that out. I gave it a 7 out of 10 overall. I feel like there were a couple of scenes in there that were a little bit slow, but the second half was really, really strong. Oh, was it Winona Ryder as well? Winona Ryder from Stranger Things. She was solid in this film as well. I've not actually seen her in anything before apart from Stranger Things, so it was nice to see her kind of in a role. I need to see like Heathers. I have that somewhere on that shelf. I don't know, probably hidden somewhere. But I really want to see that as well, which she is obviously in. Game-wise, I played like a couple of smaller things, which I won't bother mentioning because I did like 2 hours on them and didn't really get along with them. But 3 games that I completed. The first one was Batman: The Enemy Within, which is obviously the Telltale game. This was the second Batman season that they did. And I platinumed that. To platinum a Telltale game, all you have to do is kind of go through the game. So it really was not that hard of a platinum. But I really enjoyed this. A lot of people were saying this was kind of bad. But I enjoyed it. I felt like what they did with Joker in this game was so well done. Like the fact you can kind of befriend him and you can be like his best mate instead of it being the obvious kind of Batman v Joker. I liked what they did there, and with Harley Quinn as well, I felt like not what I've seen before in any form of media with Joker and Harley Quinn, and I like that about it. And I always enjoy the Telltale games. I know they get a lot of shit because you kind of always end up at the same place by the end of the game, technically, which I understand. Like, you make all these choices throughout the game, and at the end of the day, it kind of changes different aspects in certain levels. But by the end of the game, it doesn't really matter too much. So I understand the kind of annoyance of that people have with Telltale, but I don't mind it too much, and I've enjoyed pretty much all the, even Game of Thrones, which a lot of people shat on. The Game of Thrones Telltale game, I had a lot of fun with that as well when that came out. Borderlands was really good. All the Walking Dead seasons I've enjoyed. And then I've played Batman Season 1 and now Batman Season 2. The only one I don't think I've played is the Guardians of the Galaxy one, which I do have. I want to get around to that. I've even played the Minecraft one they did. Even that was good, surprisingly. So Telltale, I actually like them. Oh, Wolf Among Us, I could forget that as well. That's like one of their best ones, if not the best one. Apart from the Walking Dead Season 1, I feel like the Wolf Among Us is their best story. Oh, Batman Telltale game, I gave that a 8 out of 10. I've not really rated games because I don't have an app where I rate games. So in my head, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 overall. Then the second game I played this was such a hidden gem for me. I kind of bought it because I thought it looked kind of nice. Like, it looked like a fun game to play. Arise, a simple story. Yo, Arise, I'm giving a 10 out of 10 to. I loved this game. The only flaw I really had with it is some of the jumping mechanics and like platforming was very iffy. Like, you'd very clearly hit an edge sometimes, like you'd land on the edge, but it'd make out you didn't and you'd fall to your death. I feel like some of that was a little bit bullshit. Like, they could have programmed the platforming a little bit better. But other than that, I had no flaws with this game. It's very easy. It's a very easy game, but it's not trying to be hard. It's very quick. It'll probably take about 4 hours to complete overall if you did play it. But the music and the story was so good. Like, it says in the title, it's Arise, a simple story, and it is a very simple story, but I don't know, it just worked for me. It's basically it's about this guy, and he's in purgatory or limbo. Is like kind of in limbo where he's like basically about to go to heaven, but he's just chilling out for a bit, and he's going through his entire life, and it's this love story about how he met his wife, and it's just going through their life. Level by level was kind of a different theme to do with their life. So like the first level was how they met when they were children, and then the second level was them like growing up together, and there's like 10 chapters overall, I think, so each chapter kind of is a segment of their life. And the music, like I said, this is some of the best music I've heard in a game all year, I'd probably say. I loved it. If they had a vinyl for this game, I would be all over it. I have the theme for my PlayStation at the moment, kind of with this game, and the music in the background is so good. So a 10 out of 10 for that game. Like I said, a couple of flaws in there for sure. I think if I had to technically rate it, it'd be like a 9.5 or something like that. It's not quite perfect because of some of the jumping mechanics here and there, but I really enjoyed it. So that was probably the best game I played last month. The final one was more of a replay because I have played this game before, like twice. But Until Dawn, such a great game, such a great horror game. If you need like a horror experience to play with your mates, Until Dawn is the one. That and Outlast, I would say, the two go-to horror games I'd go for. It's basically just a teen film, but as a game. Your choices, I feel like, unlike the Telltale games, do actually matter in this game. There's like little details that if you mess up on, your character will die. And there's like 8 characters that you play as overall. It's got very cheesy dialogue, very obvious jump scares, but it's not. It knows that. It's very self-aware about that because, it's trying to pay. How do you say it? Trying to pay respects. We'll go with that to like old 80s, 90s kind of slashers, and I respect it for that. So I've played it. This is, like I said, this is my 3rd time completing this game, but I love it. I'm trying to get the platinum because I have to go through it, I think, once more, and I have to let like everybody die. On this walkthrough, I got through and had everybody live. So all 8 characters lived at the end of the game, but now I've got to go through and have them all die tragically. So if I do go for the platinum, that's what I'll be doing this month. But at the moment, I'm playing 2 other games, which I'll mention in the next one, of course. But yeah, that's basically everything. Just rambling on about that for however long this video has been. Again, I hope these are fun to watch. If they're not, let me know they're tragic, and I'll just kind of stop doing them. But I enjoy making them. It's kind of nice to have a log of everything that I've done each month with film and games. So, best game I played this month was Arise, a simple story. 9.5 out of 10 will go for that. Until Dawn would be a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed that game every time I play it. Girl Interrupted's the only film I watched this last month, so we'll go with that as the best film I watched. And best season of last... Ooh, that'd be hard. It'll be between 24 Season 3, House Season 3, and Shameless Season 3. Ironically, they're all Season 3s, which is weird. The Season 3s of shows just always the best, because then Legend of Korra Season 3 is the best as well, apparently. I've not finished season 4 of that yet, but I can't imagine it's going to top season 3. Maybe 24 for me. A lot of that is still nostalgia. I have an attachment to 24 and I always will do. So technically maybe I'd say Shameless season 3, but for nostalgia reasons I'm going to go 24 season 3 was the best season of a show that I watched in March. So yeah, there we go guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below what you have watched and played in March. I know it's like a week ago, but try and let me know if you can remember. And I'll see you next month for April. Until then guys, peace.